we had a deal.
Well, you thought wrong. We don't make deals with the law.
Hey, welcome everyone to the review of Red Dead Redemption. Now, if you're looking for the written version of this review, you can find a link to my website in the video description. Thanks to the Grand Theft Auto series, well known as GTA, gamers tend to have high expectations for the game studio Rockstar Games. That's what made Red Dead Redemption a strange move. It was a departure from the regular car stealing, rocket launcher, plane flying chaos in the GTA series. Thankfully, things worked out great for this game. Despite being originally released in 2010, the game can still be played on PS5 by streaming it from the PlayStation Plus collection. If you're using an Xbox Series console, you're in an even better position since it's available for purchase as a digital game and offline play thanks to Xbox backwards compatibility. This review was done by purchasing it for Xbox Series X for a reasonable $29 Canadian. The story takes place in the Old West of 1911. We see the main character John Marston being escorted by government agents on a boat and then through a town. The strange thing is that John has guns in his holster and then he's set free to take a train ride on his own. We're then shown that John is hunting an old acquaintance, Bill. He finds him hiding in a fortress with his own gang that he runs. After some events, John meets a farmer by the name of Bonnie. She helps John, and any questions that Bonnie asks about John's past or business are dismissed. However, to repay Bonnie's kindness, John helps her with her farming business. Eventually, John continues his hunt for Bill while encountering a decent number of unique characters, helping law officials, and even continuing to help Bonnie. It's difficult to get any further into the plot as a good chunk of the game is set in mystery as to why John was escorted by government agents at the beginning of the game and why he's hunting his old friend Bill. The mystery is one of the key elements of the plot which is later revealed throughout the game. With all honesty, the game is quite slow paced for a while. Be patient and the action will pick up rather quickly and you'll be in for some good fun. The main character John starts off as a strong, silent type but eventually opens up and becomes more talkative as the game progresses. It's difficult at first to gauge if he's a bad guy due to how silent he is and the menacing scars on his face. However, we see character development as the story progresses and a gentle side to him. Bonnie plays an important role in the game. Not only does she encounter John near the beginning, but she's the reason John starts to open up and shows his kinder side. She's tough, firm, hardworking, and is important to helping John progress with certain horse skills, which we'll cover later. There's an assortment of other side characters. Some you'll despise, some you'll like, and some that are downright hilarious. Each character has a unique personality and aren't just cookie-cutter NPCs. They bring their own personality which helps the game's digital world more engaging. One of the best things about the characters is that during escort or traveling parts of a mission, they'll engage in a lengthy dialogue with John. While these aren't cinematic cutscenes, they'll still be enjoyable to chill back and listen to, especially with some of the quirkier side characters. The same can be said about enemies. While enemies don't have much screen time, when they do, you get a quick idea of what they're like. Some villains are somewhat simple-minded, and others are downright ruthless and pure evil. The combat system is incredibly easy to use. It allows gamers to quickly dive into gun battle with quick precision just like in the Old West. One of the best things about the combat system is the Deadeye system, which slows down time and allows you to get more accurate shots in and help you win duel matches. The action parts of the game are great fun because it's just an all-out shootout most of the time. There are a handful of times you're required to use stealth to complete a mission, but often those missions will end with a gun battle. There isn't a huge assortment of enemies as they usually have pistols or rifles, but it's the sheer number of enemies you'll need to fight per gun battle which can sometimes make things tough. In some cases, enemies might get hold of stronger gun power, which makes things a bit more challenging as well. The enemy AI isn't the smartest though, as they'll sometimes run right at you to get a better shot or stay parked in a single spot the entire time, which makes it very easy for you to get shot off on them. However, the enemy AI isn't surprising considering this game was released in 2010. There are options for upgrades, for example your weapons. You could purchase new ones, but honestly I beat the entire game without purchasing a single new weapon. I was able to beat the entire game by simply taking guns from defeated enemies. One of the annoying things about the game mechanics was horse riding. At times the horse will be out of control and go in the wrong direction. This isn't often, but it's annoying when it happens. It'll take you about 15 hours to complete this game if most of your focus is on the main story and a bit of time spent on side missions. That's one of the great things about this game. There are plenty of things to do. There are side missions such as finding kidnappers, playing poker, horse races, breaking in horses, and more. The game takes place in southern USA and North Mexico along the border. A good chunk of the game takes place in a desert, but thankfully there are some parts eventually that take place in swamps, fields, farmland, and a city. In traditional Rockstar Games fashion, the map is a huge open world environment, and the size is impressive given that the game was released in 2010. Even on horseback, it takes a while to get around, although I found out early in the game that you can set up a camp easily and teleport to all major points of interest that you visited previously. There are other modes of transportation for fast travel that can be accessed from a small purchase, but I chose to use the free camp method instead for a quick teleportation. Even though the game was released in 2010, it was graced with a graphics upgrade in 2018 for Xbox One. If you plan to play this game on a Series X console like I did, you're in luck as the graphics upgrade is still implemented in the game. From character design to environmental appearance, even the motion of the fast horse riding looks great, captured for a game this many years old. The interesting thing about cutscenes is that all of them use in-game graphics. There aren't any cinematic cutscenes. This works great for two reasons. The graphics are pretty good even by today's standards, and it keeps the game feeling more fluid since it's consistent the entire time. Sometimes changing between in-game graphics and cinematic cutscenes work well, and sometimes it could throw off the flow of the game. Now there is an online multiplayer mode, but it seems broken. Some people are posting on the internet that it works just fine, and even posted videos on YouTube of how many people still play it online in 2022. However, the other half, including myself, can't get it to work. It seems rather random when it may or may not work for someone. No matter what I try, I can't get it to work, and yes, I do have a live subscription. I've tried all online options to get connected, rebooted my console, checked for updates for the console, for the game, and so on and so forth, but still no luck. If you're looking to play this old gem of a game, don't expect a masterpiece experience for online play, because your experience will vary. The audio track is one of the best parts of the game. While it's rather somber at times, when action sequences take place, the soundtrack will play music reminiscent of decades-old Western movie types. Think of the days of old Western movies starring Clint Eastwood. The voice acting from John works perfectly for his character. Even though he's a strong, quiet type, when he talks, his voice matches perfectly to his rough-looking demeanor. When he's forced into lengthy discussion with other characters, his attitude adjusts perfectly to who he's chatting with. He'll be more polite and patient with Bonnie, and quicker-witted and insulting to some of the more eccentric side characters.
An interesting kind of fellow. He usually can be found in Armadillo or some other town around here on some bacchanalian revel or such.
Great. An alcoholic arms dealer.
What could be better?
Side characters are voiced perfectly. The first local sheriff you meet is noble and has a strong means of justice, while other law enforcement is dumb-witted or cliche robotic type like the government agents. However, it's the more vocal side characters that are most fascinating. Even though they annoy John to no end, for the gamer they're incredibly amusing due to their ridiculous personalities, wild ideas, and humorous dialogue. Villains are no exception to the great voice acting and dialogue. While some of them have only minimal dialogue, in the short interactions you get with them, some of them show you simply how evil they can be. You know, it's great work by the game studio when we love to hate enemies rather quickly. Even in 2022, this is a rock solid game. Get it? Rock solid? Rockstar Studios? Okay, I'll stop now. One of my personal favorite items of the game are the side characters, whether they be evil scum or some of the quirky, amusing ones that help John. The lack of multiplayer mode working properly is a slight putdown. While some might say it's not important, the fact remains that you need to pay to play this game, and the multiplayer mode is still an active feature that comes a part of the paid package, except it doesn't work properly. Again, not just for me, but for other people posting on online forums as well. Despite the imbalanced multiplayer connectivity experience, this is still a game worth playing if you have never had the chance to.